A very good morning to you, Flo and Richard, as well as the viewers at home. Like you've correctly mentioned, we're right outside the Specialized Crime Court. It's quite a busy day for a lot of journalists as we are outside here. We're seeing a police van come in right now. We know that earlier on, Duduzane Zuma apparently handed himself over to the Johannesburg Central Prison. My cameraman is going to show you now, is going to go there to show you what exactly is happening in the background. It's alleged that he went there and handed over his passport. We're not quite sure whether he's inside the van or not, but we also know that upon arriving in Johannesburg, he handed in his passport. Interestingly enough as well, is upon arriving in OR Tambo, rather, he was detained there. We're basically running, you're seeing visuals right now of my cameraman getting shots. There's a private white car in front where it's reported to have him in there. We know that at today's court case, he's going to be appearing apparently for corruption and the likes. You can probably see visuals of my cameraman showing you a police van as well as a white car. We're not sure whether he's going to be coming in via the normal entrance or he's going to be coming in via a basement. We have already seen his legal representative, Mr. Kraus, making his way inside. It's quite busy. We've been running up and down in order to get him. We're not quite sure whether we'll be allowed to shoot inside or not. But also interestingly enough is that this is not the only charges that he's going to be facing. We know that on the 12th of July, he's also expected to appear at the Randburg Magistrate Court for a crime apparently committed in 2014 where he was involved in an accident in his Porsche where a woman as well as 3 others were injured. So there are quite a lot of cases that he's going to be, quite a lot of cases that is expected to be in. But earlier on today, like I mentioned, we heard that he was at the police station in Joburg Central where it's alleged that he handed over his passport because he's been wanted for a while. We know that from February on, he hasn't been in the country. So hence the lot of huffing and puffing in order to try and find him. But we're yet to see whether he'll be charged or not for the contravention of a specific act of basically attempting to commit corruption. At the back of me, my cameraman is showing you there's a lot of journalists there at the back. We're also expecting him to be coming in from this entrance. A lot of people are waiting that maybe we just might get a glimpse of him if you don't already have gotten a glimpse of him in that private car where we expected him to be in. So this is basically what's going to be happening. The police van that passed us while we were crossing earlier on is back this side with the same white car. So we expecting that he might be in any of these 2 cars. As you can see, the VW that's making its way inside. We are hoping, or we're looking inside now to find who might be inside. It seems that he actually might be inside that van. My cameraman is trying to get you visuals of that. So it's going to be quite a jam-packed day. If he is charged, it's going to be quite serious. The Hawks have said that they want him to be charged for corruption and the likes, for apparently in 2015 attempting to bribe the former deputy minister for 600 million rand. So you can see also in the background a lot of running happening, and we're being asked to pause a bit. He's expected to come outside. We're seeing another gentleman that's definitely not him, looking inside as well to see who it might possibly be. Yes, that's Duduzane. You're seeing Duduzane in the frame, walking inside the Specialized Crimes Court. And you can see a lot of people are running just to try and get him in there. So it's going to be quite an interesting day. You can see the visuals with the scuffle happening between police officers as well as journalists.
Shem, let me come in here. Let me come in here, Sindisiwe. Shem, let me let you catch your breath a little bit there. I'll give you a moment to catch your breath. All right. So I see with all the huffing and puffing that's going on there, it does seem to me as though Duduzane Zuma caught a lot of you as journalists by surprise, didn't he? Because it was first reported that he was coming into the country in order to mourn and to bury his brother who passed away last week. And we ended up seeing him giving in his passport and handing himself over to police. Did Duduzane Zuma really catch reporters, journalists, everybody by surprise? It seems that way by this flurry. I mean, this is reminiscent of scenes one saw when Lady Diana was still alive, the kind of rushing and sort of mobbing to go and catch him as he's trying to get into the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court this morning. Were you all sort of caught by surprise, really?
Honestly, at some point, a lot of journalists didn't expect him to come back into the country. We know that he's been out of the country from February when the whole state capture investigations were actually at their helm. So seeing him here today is actually something a lot of people did not expect. We know that he was seen at Rema Church over the weekend, burying his at the service where his brother Zuma was expected to be buried. Yes, who apparently died of lupus. So the moment he came into Tambo, there are a lot of speculations. Why is he here? Is he going to hand himself over or what? And that's where he was detained by the police officials or the security there and was identified by the Hawks and released. So he did not necessarily catch us by surprise today, but he did catch us by surprise for the past 2 weeks because we didn't think that he was going to come back closer to his trials. We know that July isn't actually an ideal month for him, as a lot of other court cases are also in the forefront. We know that besides this particular case that is coming in for at the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, there's also another court case this week on the 12th of July, if I'm not mistaken, at the Randburg Magistrate Court, where he's wanted for culpable homicide, where he bumped into a taxi and a woman was killed, as well as 3 were injured. This is the very same case where Afro Forum, the lobby group, have been saying that if the state does not prosecute, they will lodge an application to privately prosecute. So the timing in which he came back has not been ideal because it's the timing where a lot of these cases are scheduled to be heard. So he did not necessarily catch us by surprise, but it seems that for those people that saw him at the Johannesburg Central Prison, that it seems as though he is surrendering.
Right, Sindisiwe, great reporting. Thank you very much. I'm sure Cindy Mabe will be crossing to you throughout her show, just so that we can get some clarity as to what's happening there at the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, where, of course, we saw Duduzane Zuma has, in fact, arrived. So updates throughout the day on the show on Afro Worldview, and Cindy Mabe will be crossing to Sindisiwe Twala. They're completely out of breath. Hope she'll be taking a seat and having a bit of water there. All right.